Okay, let's just jump right in with a wild idea. What if you could build a whole app with just one sentence? Seriously, that's the huge promise behind this new tool from Google DeepMind called anti-gravity. So today, we're going to dig in, see if it's all hype, and figure out if this could, completely change how we all build software. I mean, just think about your day-to-day grind, right? All that boilerplate code, jumping between your editor, the terminal, the browser, it's exhausting. But what if you could just skip all that? Imagine your job was just to have the big idea, to describe the vision, and then some super smart AI agent just handles all the boring stuff. That's the massive shift we're talking about with anti-gravity. So the big question is, how does this magic actually work? Well, the first thing you've got to know is that anti-gravity isn't just another one of those fancy code generators. No, it's way more than that. It's a totally reimagined workspace built from the ground up for developers. And just look at what it pulls together. You've got your editor, you've got this agent manager, and even the browser, all baked into one single product. By doing this, anti-gravity goes straight for the jugular of one of the biggest time wasters for any of us, context switching. The whole point is to create this seamless workflow where you basically never have to leave. Okay, so what does this all-in-one environment actually look like when you're using it? The whole experience is built around what they call 3 core work surfaces. Let's break those down. First up, you've got the agent manager. Think of it like your mission control for all the AI agents you're going to use. Then, that flows into the editor, which will feel pretty familiar, but it's like it's on steroids with all this AI help. But honestly, the really mind-blowing part is the integrated browser. And I don't just mean for looking at your app. The AI can literally take control of the mouse and keyboard inside the browser to test out the code it just wrote. It's wild. All right, enough talk, right? Theory is one thing, but let's see this thing actually do something. We're going to watch it build a flight tracker app completely from scratch. And get this, the only thing we're going to give it is one single sentence. And there it is. Just look at how it's phrased. It's not some strict formal command. It's just a conversation. The developer asks for a Next.js app, describes the UI, put in a flight number, and even suggests where to get the data. And that's it. That one simple conversational prompt is literally all it takes to kick the whole thing off. The second you hit enter on that prompt, the agent just springs to life. But it's not just dumping a massive wall of code on you. No, it's way smarter than that. It has a process. First, it thinks. It actually creates an implementation plan. Then it writes the code, spins up a server, and, here's that game changer again, it acts like its own QA tester, clicking around in the app to make sure it actually works. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, an AI just running commands and creating files on my computer? That sounds scary. And you'd be right. That requires a ton of trust. So how does anti-gravity earn that trust? The answer is all about total transparency, and it does that using something they call artifacts. These artifacts are basically your window into the AI's brain. You get a task list, so you know exactly what it's doing step by step. You get the implementation plan, which tells you what it's about to do, giving you the chance to say no before it touches anything. And then you get a walkthrough, which is like a report card of what it just did, even with screenshots as proof. The key takeaway here, the human is always, always in control. And here's a perfect look at that testing step in action. See that blue cursor moving around? That's your visual cue. That means the AI has taken over the browser. It's literally clicking buttons, typing in fields, and making sure the app it just built works. It's not just a coder, it's your own personal built-in QA engineer. Okay, building one simple thing is cool, for sure. But what about multitasking? Can it juggle more than one job at a time? Well, this is where anti-gravity really starts to feel less like a tool and more like a developer superpower. This right here is where things get really interesting. While you, the human, are deep in the code working on some complex problem, you can just spin up other agents to work on other things in the background. So in this example, while the dev is coding, one agent is off researching live flight data APIs, and another one, get this, is doing something totally creative, designing a logo for the app, all at the same time. And the best part? You don't have to micromanage these agents. You can just drop in feedback as pending comments in the code. The agent is smart enough to see your notes and then figure out the best time to act on them without messing up what it's currently doing. It's like having a real teammate you can collaborate with asynchronously. So remember that logo design task? What happened with that? Well, the agent tapped into Google's image models and came back like almost instantly with 4 totally different logo ideas. It just goes to show you, this thing isn't just for writing code. It can actually get creative too. So at this point, the AI agent has done a ton of the heavy lifting, right? It's built a foundation, it's done the research. Now it's time for the human to step back in. This is the handoff, where the developer adds those final crucial touches that really need a human's intuition and expertise. And honestly, this might be the most important part of the whole idea. The goal here isn't to replace developers, it's to make them more powerful. The AI is designed to handle that 90% of the job that's just tedious and repetitive, freeing up the human to focus on that critical, creative 10% that really matters. And you can see that handoff happen right here in the editor. The dev just pops in, deletes the mock data the AI started with, and then using the AI's own tab to complete suggestions, they wire up the real API that the other agent just found. It's the perfect tag team. The AI does the prep work, and the human just comes in to connect the dots. Okay, so now we've got a real working app that's pulling in live data. Pretty amazing. But let's really push the limits. Let's give it one last really complex feature and see what this new human AI team can actually handle. And the final task is a doozy. The request is to add a one-click Google Calendar integration. So you can click on any flight, and it automatically creates a calendar event for you with all the details. I mean, that's not a trivial task. It means understanding APIs, mapping data, changing the UI. It's a perfect final test. And the agent just nails it. It totally gets the request, writes all the code to talk to the Google Calendar API, and then, and this is so important, it tests its own work again. It launches the browser, clicks on a flight, and actually verifies that the calendar invite pops up correctly. The whole loop, from just an idea spoken in plain English to a fully built, fully tested feature, is complete. Wow. Oh, and just when you think it can't get any better, there's one last little piece of magic. You know how annoying it is to write good commit messages? Well, anti-gravity does that for you too. Since it's been tracking the entire conversation and all the code changes, it just automatically generates a perfect commit message summarizing everything that was done. That's another boring task off your plate. So after seeing this whole process, it's pretty clear why the creators are saying this is the new way for devs to get work done. It's not just about a slightly better editor or a smarter autocomplete. This is a totally different way of thinking about our jobs. The developer's role starts to shift from being a line-by-line code writer to more of a director, an orchestrator of these super smart AI agents. Which, of course, leaves us with a huge question to think about. Is something like anti-gravity the beginning of the end for coding as we know it? Or is it actually a new beginning? A future where all the grunt work is automated, freeing us up to be more creative, more ambitious, and to build bigger and better things than we ever thought possible.